Assalamu alaikum, Muslimah Media. This is Anse Tamara Gray, here today to talk to you about creating positive cultural change. Positive cultural change means we need to go deeply inside the way we think about things, what we believe, and how our belief is manifested in our lives, in our personal and individual lives, in our communities, and in our societies. Positive cultural change for Muslims today means we need to be thinking about some of the big issues. In the next few sittings together, when we sit together, I want to talk about ideas around womanhood, ideas around feminism, hijab, some of the tough issues we deal with, the mosque, and some other issues that have to do with women in Islam or just Muslim women as we navigate our lives today. The first one I want to talk about today is the concept of feminism and Islam. Feminism is a word that often gets a bad rep. It is a word that has a number of definitions, and in our history, our scholarly history, we have been known to define things before talking about them. And before we throw any word out, like the baby with the bathwater, we need to talk about what it means and how we're defining it for ourselves. And for me, the word feminism, when I use the word, and as I think about the word, and as I think about the word in the context of the issues that we're dealing with today, I think about the word feminism or define it as meaning the empowerment of women. The empowerment of women so that they can participate, so that they are empowered to participate in community and society, to be active in the environment within which they live, within their families, their communities, and the society. This type of empowerment is part and parcel of Islam. We can't separate feminism from Islam if we define it in this way. And the word feminism is important to many women because it speaks to their heart about some of the really hard issues that we're dealing with internationally, globally, and at home. When we talk about those issues, we need to stand on top of a foundation of these definitions. So if we look at the definition of feminism and we're thinking about, well, what does it mean? And what does it mean to be a woman? We can use the word woman as an acronym and look to Islam and how we begin with the W and recognize that first and foremost, we as women are worshipers. That our lives are based foundationally in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. O, for organized learning. At the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you find that there was organized learning for men and women. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to meet women on Thursdays, or at least that's what many of the accounts tell us. The women, like Shifa, some of the women were asked to teach other women. This was organized learning. M, for monetary independence. When we look at our systems, they provide for financial independence, monetary independence for women. Financial independence means empowerment. Both the mahr, the marriage gift, and inheritance are part and parcel of that system. A, activism. The women at the time of the Prophet ﷺ were active. We have Rufayda bint al-Islamiyya, and she was a woman, an activist who built a hospital tent at the Battle of Al-Khandaq in order to treat the wounded in the battle. She's one example of many. A for activism, and N for nurturer. The one who is reaching out and caring for her family, caring for her community, caring for all of those around her. W, worshiper. O, organized learning. M, monetary independence. A, activism. N, nurturer. And that is the redefinition of woman or womanhood in Islam. And that is part and parcel of that definition of feminism that brings Islam as the first feminism, if we are to define it that way. And in that way, it is empowering. And we, as today's women, looking at the cultures we're living in, need to cling to Islam in order to give ourselves the gift of empowerment and our daughters the gift of that same empowerment. Allahumma salli wa sallam wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad.